Maybe taking this opportunity to claim a full and complete time out, taking a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out from the mouth. Noticing if you're clenching your jaw, if you're creating fists. And then settle into physical stillness. Just as life hands us distractions and noises and sounds in our lives, today our practice will embrace and also incorporate various different sounds around us because we have a private event going on. And I invite you to notice if you get carried away by the distraction or if you're able to allow yourself to fall deeper into the space that is you. Oftentimes when we get annoyed with somebody gum chewing, or if we get super annoyed with a cell phone going off when we're trying to be quiet, or if we get super annoyed with what somebody says, it's an opportunity to reflect a little bit deeper within ourselves and why we are giving away our power to something outside of us that can control our emotions, that can control our thought processes, in the place of allowing ourselves to settle into who we are and where we are and what we want to create for ourselves. So closing the eyes, and if that's difficult for you, know that you are safe, know that you are secure, know that you are supported. And if you're still fidgeting, ask yourself if your mind might be asking for another distraction from being able to settle into and observe what's going on within the mind. Taking a few more breaths as you settle into your physical stillness to just notice the sounds around you. Maybe even going as far as to hearing the buzz of the world. And we're going to begin to initiate a pranayama, which is a breathwork exercise. We're going to inhale for a 4 count. Hold at the top of the inhale for a 4 count. And exhale for a 4 count. Hold at the base of the exhale for 4. And begin again. Inhaling for 4, holding at the top for 4. Releasing the air for 4. Holding at the end of the exhale for 4. Cycling through this breath at your own pace, just a few times, imagining this breath almost being like a wave, taking with it any expectations of yourself, any expectations of me, any expectations of anything that happens from this moment forward. And giving yourself permission to step into a more expansive space of receptivity. Allowing yourself to be in the flow. Allowing yourself to be present within that flow. And instead of future tripping, just allowing. Just as you're allowing your body to be completely relaxed and supported by the ground beneath you. Once you've completed that lax exhale hold, just allow your body to breathe as it chooses. Something that has brought itself to my awareness is with my 1-year-old son, He has this confidence. He has this way about him that is just super headstrong, super stubborn, super strong-willed. And I have to remind myself that each and every one of us was born with that kind of confidence. We have the environment as we're growing up between the ages of 1 and 2 where our parents encourage us. It's an enriching environment. You're supported, you're encouraged. Hey, if you fall when you start walking, it's okay. Get back up again. You got this. Keep going. And then we go into grade school, and for some reason or another, we are being told that we have to step ourselves up to different standards that may or may not be a part of who we are or what we're capable of doing at that time, but yet there are these bits and pieces that kind of pull away from this natural born confidence. And as we get older, it unfolds more and more and more. And I want to bring to your awareness as you're stepping through today's practice an invitation to, instead of talking shit to yourself of whether or not you can do a pose or not, instead of distracting yourself, holding yourself true to telling yourself, I believe in me. And I know it sounds really silly, but they've done research studies even with NBA teams that encourage each other, teams that fist pump each other, they do awesome. But let me tell you something else. If you're seeking external validation to step up your confidence, you're being sold a wrong bag. That confidence comes from you. That confidence comes from your ability to continue to pursue your dreams because you want them. To continue pursuing different hobbies and goals because you want them. Not because somebody else is telling you, you're great, you're good, I believe in you. A baby doesn't give a shit whether or not you say I can believe in you. They keep going. They're persistent. It's innate. And I want you today to tap into that innate sense of confidence, whether it's on your mat today, whether it's in your mind, whether it's in your heart, whether it's in something that happens after this class, and put a mantra to that you can connect to throughout today's practice. Maybe it's I believe in me. Maybe it's you can. Maybe it's you will. Whatever that is, I want you to bring that mantra into the forefront of your awareness and allow it to blend with whatever intention that you had for yourself to come onto your mat this morning. One more expansive breath in. Fan that flame. And then gently wiggle the fingers and the toes, roll out the ankles and the wrists. Bring the ankles together to touch and bring the arms up overhead, giving yourself a full body stretch. Deep, expansive breath in, and as you exhale, gently bring the knees in towards the chest. Exhale. Find stillness or maybe gently rock from side to side. Find a moment of gratitude here where you can honor a part of you that you love. Honor your body and find gratitude for every single limb that you have that enables you to be here today. Maybe someone or something other than yourself could use that confidence, could use that little smack in the tush. You got this. Send this practice to them. Send this hug to them. Gently keeping the right knee in towards the chest. And extending the left leg long. And then allowing yourself to draw that right knee a little bit out towards the right side. Deep breath in, and notice how that deep expansive breath in allows you to press up against that right thigh, moving it further away from you because you're taking such a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, gently draw that right knee in a little bit more as you create space with that exhale. Left hand remains on top of the right knee, right arm extends over towards the right. Gently guide that right knee across the body. Gentle spinal twist here. If you'd like a little bit more, you could flex the right foot. And you'll activate the muscles in the outer right hip. Gaze could be up towards the ceiling or over the right shoulder. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, gently coming back to center, bringing both knees in towards the chest once more. Taking what you need in this little moment of pause. And then extending the right leg down the length of the mat as you draw the left knee in towards the chest and maybe just right outside the torso. Deep expansive breath in. Exhale. Gently draw that knee in a little bit deeper. Right hand on left knee, left arm towards the left, and gently crossing the left knee over the body. And again, option to flex the left foot. Last breath. Inhale back to center. Both knees once more in towards the chest. Bring the right hand on top of the right knee, left hand on top of the left knee. And we're gonna do a little bit of wax on, wax off. So drawing the knees in and then separating the knees, circling that hip joint out and around. Go slower than you want to. Life is always at that fast pace. Your mind is always going at that fast pace. So when you land on your mat, slow it down even if it's just a little bit. Reverse the direction, out, close them in, push them away, circle them back out. Draw the knees in towards the chest, bring the hands behind the thighs, and we're gonna rock and roll a couple times up and down the spine. You're gonna cross at the ankles and bring the palms forward, finding your neutral tabletop. Separating the feet about hips distance apart, separating the knees hips distance apart, spreading the fingers out super wide, wrists underneath the shoulders. Take a peek between the thighs. If you see your feet, hide them behind your thighs. We're gonna activate our cat-cow. Tuck the toes, drop the spine, take a deep breath into the heart center, gaze is up. Exhale, round, chin to chest. If you'd like to activate this pose a little bit more, after the end of your cat pose, you could bring the sits bones back towards the heels, waving forward into cow, activating the arms, lubricating the joints a little bit more here. And if you do it and it doesn't serve you, leave it. Last one here. Finding neutral tabletop. Now we're just gonna circle out the tush a little bit. So we're gonna circle the tush out in one direction and just let the spine kind of go with it, let the head go with it. Shake that ass a little bit. And then you circle it the other way, get a little sexy with it. It's okay to be sexy, right? It's okay. Feels good. All right, finding neutral tabletop. We're gonna extend the arms out. Making sure the knees are under the hips melts the heart. Option here to bring the chin down or the third eye down. Gentle back bend. Breathe into the heart, breathe into the arms. A little face down, ass up action over here. Breathe. And when you're ready, we're going to slither down onto our bellies and we're going to find Sphinx pose. So you know you're in the proper alignment in Sphinx pose if you could grab opposite elbows with your hands and then press the arms out in front of you. Notice if you're dropping the weight, bringing the shoulders into the ears, or if you're pressing into the forearms, allowing your heart to shine forward. Chin is parallel to the ground. See if you can close your eyes here. It's in these little tiny moments in our yoga practice where we can close our eyes and we begin to tune into what's going on inside of us instead of focusing on what's going on around us. Last breath. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to come into our little Cobra series here. If you have any kind of low back issues, I highly suggest you separating the feet, maybe even as wide as your mat, and pressing the tops of the feet into your mat. And instead of using your glutes to squeeze and come up into Cobra, see if you can activate your kneecaps and activate the quads and the thighs, so that way the knees almost lift up off of your mat. So taking a deep breath in, exhale out. Next inhale, rise up. See if you could hover the hands. Activate the strength in the back body. And exhale, let it go. Now our next Cobra, you can choose to do the one that we just did. If you want to deepen the back bend, you could bring the hands a little bit closer towards the hip and press all the way up with straight arms. I'm not going to do it because my low back is a little tender. Or you could come into upward facing dog. So whenever you're ready, taking a deep breath in to prepare, exhale, let it go. And then on the next inhale, rise up, hover. This is an all levels flow, so I'm going to be giving tons of options. Exhale, release, bring your third eye down, maybe stack it on top of the hands. Take a moment here, close the eyes and breathe. Inhale, bring the hands back onto your mat. We're going to press back into child's pose. Take a breath here. Taking 2 more breaths here, letting it all go. And as you inhale, curling back up, tabletop. Reminding yourself of your alignment in tabletop, extending the right arm forward. We're going to take 3 arm circles back up and around. Option to follow the hand with your gaze. Let the hips go with you. And then reverse, so bringing it forward, back up and around. Beautiful. Inhale, twist, make a fist, roll out the wrist. Exhale, right arm weaves under the left, right ear down. Option to bring the left hand to drape behind the small of the back, or you can extend the left hand towards the top of your mat. And if you have a balanced pose that you'd like to come into, you can kick the left leg back up and find yourself in a little bit of a bind and balance. When you're ready, unwind, bringing the left knee down. Pressing the left palm back into your mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, reach it forward. We're now going to incorporate the low body. So if you feel like lifting up both the left heel and the right leg is a little too intense, you could just choose to do one or the other. We're going to inhale, reach and extend, and as you exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, kick and reach. Last one. Beautiful. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. We're going to bring it in between the hands. We're going to rise up, bringing both hands either onto the knee or to frame the ears. Shift the weight forward. Feel that nice stretch in the right hip flexor. Breathe and let it go. Option to grab opposite elbows if you'd like and draw the gaze up, bring the heart up. Reaching the arms arms up towards the sky, bringing the hands down. Shift the weight back, lift those left toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This one can be a really tight pose, so breathe into what's calling for your attention. Maybe micro bend the left knee. And we're going to walk the hands a full handprint to a handprint and a half away from us. And we're gonna get sexy with it again. We're gonna circle in one direction and then the next. And maybe instead of allowing your mind to get so into this, just allow your body to tell you what feels really good. And making sure to go in the opposite direction. Release those snap, crackles, and pops, and find your neutral tabletop pose. Inhale, left arm reaches forward, 3 arm circles back, up and around. And then switch it up, forward, back, up and around. Last one here, twist, make a fist, roll out the wrist, weave that left arm under the right, drop the left ear, and whatever you did on the other side, whether you found a bind or you extended the arm towards the top of your mat, if you balanced, balance it out, and breathe. Unwind. Right hand plants. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left arm reaches in front. Again, option to use both limbs or just one. Inhale, exhale, draw it in. Keep it going. 3 more. Last one, reach and kick. Option to reach for that back foot. Kicking into the left palm, gaze is up. Gently release. Left arm towards the left, right foot towards the right. Hold. It's a tough one, I know. This is where you build that strength. Drop the right foot. Inhale, reach that left arm. Exhale, weave it under. Bind if it's available. And breathe. Feel your heart, feel your breath. Unwind. Coming back up. Tuck the left toes. Sit back. And feel the difference between the sides here. You can again lift up those right toes if it's available. Close the eyes. Inhale, coming back up, pressing that right heel back, preparing for sudden bird bow. So with every inhale, pressing up, exhale, bring it down. Last one. Beautiful, knee to nose, draw it in, bring it through. Rise up. Again, if you want to bring the arms to frame the ears or bringing them onto the thigh, whatever feels best. Grab opposite elbows, but make sure you're grabbing the opposite set of elbows. Well, you have one set, but you know what I mean. Open the heart, gaze up. Arms reach up, exhale, bring them down, shift the weight back. Right toes up, maybe a little micro bend in the right knee to support the low back and the hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt and fold over that right leg. Another opportunity to close the eyes and breathe. Notice where your thoughts are going, just observe. Notice your heartbeats, your breath, the breath of the world on your skin. Cue the wind. Inhale, pressing into the right foot. Hands frame right foot. Bring that right leg back. Child's pose. Take a moment here. Regroup. Deep breath in. Exhale out. We're going to come into our warrior series. So if you'd like to get a sip of water, if you'd like to towel off, now's the opportunity. And we're going to get our blood flowing a little bit more of a vinyasa flow that you want to pop into as we get moving. By all means, do you. So we're going to come into tabletop, tuck the toes, shift the sits bones back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhale out, let it go. One more full breath in, exhale, let it go. Shift into plank. This is the flow that I'm talking about. Drop the knees, untuck the toes, melt the heart. Inhale, presses you up. Exhale, sits bones back towards the heels. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhale out. If that serves you, you can hang out with me. If you want a more intense variation, you know where to go with that. Let's get started. Let's have some fun. Bring the feet together to touch. Inhale, come up high up on the tippy toes. Those heels are all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop the heels over towards the right. Feel that nice side stretch. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, drop the heels over towards the left. Feel that right side stretch. Inhale, back to center, tippy toes. Kick that right leg all the way up. Bend and straighten the knee, maybe rotate that knee, getting into that hip joint. Kick it back, bend the knee, and if you could see your foot under your left armpit and you'd like to flip it over, flip your dog. Press into 3 limbs as you bring the hips up and the right hand reaches behind you. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Kick through that right leg. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Shift into plank. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Right knee, left elbow. Kick out the right foot. Ooh, another one. Drop it down. Pivot the left foot. Dancer's bridge. Breathe. Option if you're feeling super ambitious, the left hand can come down. You could do a scissor push-up if you wanna. Inhale, kick that right leg back. Exhale, bring that right foot in between the hands. Drop the left knee. We've been here before. Rise up, low crescent. Breathe. Relax the shoulders. Bring the hands down, left hand plants. Right arm reaches up. So left hand plants, right arm reaches up. Couple variations that you could do here depending on what you want. You can bend the left leg, reach for the left foot for a quad stretch. You can tuck the left toes and rise up, and then come into skindasana, varied skindasana onto the knife edges of both feet, and breathe. This gets into the IT band. Inhale as you exhale, both hands come on the inside of the right foot. Drop that left knee. if it's still lifted, and find your lizard lunge. So you can bring the palms to press into your mat, or if you're flexy, you could bring yourself down onto your forearms. If you decide to open up the right hip, make sure your toes go where your knee goes. So if you're gonna open up, catty corner the right toes and then open up the hip. This supports the muscles. Beautiful. Wherever you are, 2 more breaths. Inhale, pressing onto the palms, framing the right foot, left toes tuck, left leg lifts. Bring that right foot back to meet the left, flow it out your way. If you're with me, knees, untuck toes, drop the heart. Inhale, presses you up. Exhale, brings you back. Inhale, table. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths, in through the nose. Vocal exhale, let it out. When you're moaning and groaning, it means you're having a good time. Inhale, exhale, let it out. Bring the feet together to touch. Come high up on the tippy toes. Lift that left leg all the way up. Bend and straighten the leg. Circle out that hip joint. Kick it back, and then if you want to flip your dog, take a peek under that right armpit. Press into all 3 limbs to lift you up. Gaze is back behind you. Exhale, left hand comes down. Kick through that left leg. Exhale, knee to nose, shift forward. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, left knee to nose, cross it to the right elbow. Kick out that foot. Drop it down, pivot the right foot, dancer's bridge. Exhale, right hand comes down. If you took that scissor push-up, try it again here. Exhale, left foot kicks back. Exhale, bring it through in between the hands. Drop the right knee, untuck the right toes, rise up. Settle and breathe. When you're ready, exhale, right hand comes down. Twist, open up towards the left. And then whatever variation you did on the other side, maybe you did a couple different ones, play around. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes in between, on the inside of the left foot, dropping the right toes and knee, finding your low lizard. Again, take whatever variation feels comfortable to you. More breaths. When you're ready, pressing the palms into the mat, tucking the right toes, lifting up the right leg, kick the left leg back and up. Exhale, left foot comes down to meet the right, shift forward, flow it out your way. If you want to just meet in down dog, that's also always available. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Take a peek between the hands, walk, jump, step it up towards the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Separate the feet about hips distance. So if you bring your fists together to touch and place them in between the feet, that'll give you an idea of hips distance. Bend the knees enough to support the low back. Index and middle finger, loop onto the big toe. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Maybe open and close the jaw a few times. Keeping the grip on the toe. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Hollow out that belly. Exhale, bring it down, get a little deeper. Release the grip, ragdoll roll all the way up to standing. Maybe keep the eyes closed. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands into prayer at the heart center. Take a moment here. Refuse the urge to fidget, to fix. Allow yourself a moment to just be in what it feels like in the being. No longer doing. Allow your weight to bend into the right leg, arms frame the ears. Inhale, as you exhale, bring the hands back behind you. Another full breath into the heart. Exhale, drop it down. Bring the fists to the small of the back. We're gonna come into awkward twist. Right hand, switching it up, my bad. Left hand on the inside of the right foot. Right arm reaches up. You can stay here or come into that varied skindasana, coming onto the knife edge of both feet, like I cued earlier. Breathe. Stay here, or option to come into side plank. Breathe. Inhale, as you exhale, right hand comes down, find yourself in plank, drop down to the forearms, and breathe into forearm plank. 2 breaths, you've got this. Challenges bring strength. Inhale, coming back onto the palms. Option to just shift in down dog or flow it out your way. If you're with me, knees melt the heart. Inhale, presses you up. Exhale, sits bones back. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Take those 2 complete breaths in and those vocal exhales out. Feet together to touch, left leg kicks back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose, foot plants in between the hands, back foot pivots 45 degrees, rise up. And then again, finding your alignment, taking the time out. Inhale. Exhale, hands come back behind you. Inhale, offer the heart. Exhale, drop it down. Breathe. Bring the fist to the small of the back. Awkward twist, right hand comes down, left arm lifts up. Stay, or again, if you want to take that variation, you can go ahead and take the variation of coming onto the knife edge of both feet. Breathe. Stay, or find side plank. Inhale, exhale, left hand comes down, plank pose, coming down to the forearms. And if you need to come down to the knees ever, it's always available. Hold. Build your core. Inhale, press up. Option here to flow it out or meet in down dog. We got one more flow, and then we're going to get into some yummy yin postures. Inhale, table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take those 2 deep breaths in through the nose, out from the mouth. Clear that slate for yourself. Whatever happened up until this point doesn't fucking matter. Bring the feet together to touch. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring it in between the hands. Back foot pivots. Almost 90 degrees. Rise up, cartwheel up. Warrior two. So another trick in warrior two, if you hinge forward and come up, you'll notice if your body's wanting you to elongate your stance. Check in with your front toes. Wherever your toe goes, your knee goes. If your toes kind of catty corner, your knee's gonna collapse. Femur parallel to your mat. Arms outstretched. Are you leaning forward? Are you bringing that weight towards the midline? Breathe. 3 pumping warriors. Inhale, press and extend the front leg. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. One more. Exhale. Option here, reach forward. Bring it back and bind. Option to bring the right forearm on top of the thigh, maybe gripping onto the ankle or the floor. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Now, if you're gonna come into side angle, your shoulder joint is a ball joint. It's gonna feel a lot nicer to circle that arm out in front of you and then extend it up overhead. Breathe. Imagine a straight line from your left middle finger all the way down towards that outside edge of the left foot. Stay, bind, play. 2 more breaths. Find your strength, you can. Just because you're a little shaky doesn't mean that you're weak. It means you're building. You're gonna be sore. You're gonna remember me tomorrow. Inhale, cartwheel up, straighten that front leg. Bring that back foot up, maybe like a foot or 2. We're gonna come into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So left hip, back behind you, reach, reach, reach. Then the right hand comes down. Then you're gonna open up the chest and gaze up. Are you dumping your weight? Lift it up, use those oblique muscles. You could do little oblique pulses if you'd like. Beautiful, inhale, reach. Open up towards the left. Tiny little pigeon toe to support the back. You could come down with a flat back, or you can interlace the hands back behind you. Open the heart once more, and exhale, fold. Breathe into the shoulders, breathe into the hamstrings, the inner thighs, the hips. Shake the head, yes. Shake it, no. Whatever's whirlwinding in the mind that doesn't serve you anymore, let it go. Bringing the fist to the small of the back. Releasing the hands under the heart. If you have an inversion that you're working with, now is the time that I invite you to do that. If you're gonna be sticking with me, we're gonna be coming into Skindasana. So right toes pointing out a tiny bit, making sure that that full right foot is on your mat as you bend towards the right and lift up the left toes. You can bring the right arm to extend slightly further towards the right. You could even bind the left hand and bring it back behind you. Play. Sometimes we get so stuck in our old ways and our rigidity and the way that we've always done things that we forget what it's like to be a little playful, curious, and exploratory. Explore your body, explore the sensations, explore the emotions, explore the thoughts. Last 2 breaths. Inhale, unwind, bring the hands up. Opening up once more towards the left. Inhale, coming up flat back. Exhale, fold. Left toes, catty corner towards the left. Skindasana on the other side. Drop it down. Right toes up. Whatever you did on the one side, see if you could find balance here and do the same. One side is going to feel different from the other. It's normal. release. Lift those sits bones up. Walk the hands over towards the right foot. Frame right foot. We're in our last little bit here. Bringing that right foot back to meet the left. Flow it out your way. Inhale, presses you up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, table. Exhale, downward facing dog. Clear that slate. 2 breaths. Feet together to touch. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, draw it through, knee to nose, bringing that left foot in between the hands. Back foot pivots, almost 90 degrees, cartwheel up. Take the time, check your alignment. Make sure your foundation is nice and sturdy. Doesn't matter if it takes you a little bit more time, it's all good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it back. Stay or streamline. So left forearm to thigh, ankle or floor twist. Side angle, you could circle that right arm in front of you and up and over. I'm going to show you the feeling of the difference. Ready? Keep it like this. There you go. Now energetically, push into here. Push it. Yes. That's how you're supposed to be energized in this pose. So you want to imagine somebody's looping on to that inner part of the thumb and push into it. That's how energized you are from that right middle finger all the way down towards that right side of the leg. Ready? Inhale. Cartwheel up. Back foot scoots up a tiny bit. Straighten that front leg. Oh, we forgot our pumping warriors, didn't we, y'all? You can tell me I fucked up. It's all good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach. Inhale, coming up. Side over towards the right. Again, option to come down with a flat back, or you can once again interlace the hands back behind you if you're working into those shoulders a little bit deeper, and melt it down. So here, I'm going to invite you for a yogi's choice. So you could bring the arms out in front of you and melt the heart for a little, almost like a wide leg down dog. You can maybe bring the fingertips through the legs and drop the head. Again, if you're working on an inversion, a very perfect time to play here. You can come into Skindasana like we did, maybe grabbing the outside knife edge of both feet and getting into the hamstrings and the inner thighs, maybe looping onto the big toe and doing the same. Just explore your body. And maybe take an extra breath or two in any postures that feel really good. Sometimes, for me, it's just finding these moments of stillness. Life can get quite a bit from you. And when we take that pause, we reclaim our energy back. Last 3 breaths wherever you are. Left foot comes back to meet the right. Our last flow. Make it intentional. Let it burn up whatever else needs to be burned. And create some space for what it is you desire to feel. Bringing the feet together to touch. We're going to be coming into pigeon pose. If you know that your hips are really tight, there's an option to do this on your back. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee behind right wrist. Now, some of you have been with me for quite some time. You know where I'm going with this. If you are, go ahead and pop into it. If this is the first time you've taken a class with me, tuck the left toes, lift up that left leg. Press that heel away from you, and you'll notice that your body's gonna shift. Then bring the weight on top of the left thigh and extend that left leg. You could stay here for a few breaths, or you could come down onto the forearms. I personally like to wave, breathing in and out. You pulsate a little bit, it'll actually open up for you even more. And then wherever you want, find your stillness, close the eyes, and be with the sensations. Whatever comes, let it. Whatever goes, let it. Last 3 breaths. See for these last 3 breaths if you could soften maybe the shoulders, the jaw, some other part of your body that maybe you weren't even aware you were carrying some tension. Slowly making your way back onto the palms. Bringing the weight onto the right hip, swinging that left leg around, and bringing the left foot right outside the right thigh. Now if you're leaning to one side, see if you could shimmy so you could feel both sits bones on your mat. Hug the left knee in towards the chest. You could stay here, or if you want a little bit more, left hand becomes a second spine. So you want to allow the fingertips to press away from you as you bring the inner part of the wrist fairly close to your low back to help straighten your spine. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, right arm on the outside of the left thigh. Twist and gaze over the left shoulder. Keeping the twist, just gaze over the right shoulder this time. Unwind both hands over towards the right. Honor yourself, your practice, this space. And then switching. If you want, you can extend both legs down the length of your mat and maybe give them a little shake. And then when you're ready, bending the left leg and swinging that right leg around. And again, taking the time. So once you have your left knee towards the left corner of your mat, tuck the right toes, lift up that right leg, and press that heel back, scoot it back, and then let it go. Square off the hips, and again, take what you need. If you're flexing and you can make it all the way down, by all means. What I offer you is just an offering.
My sweet summer is gone. My sweet summer is gone.
And then settle into the best shape for your body in this moment and melt into it. Let gravity have its way with you here. Feel the trust that comes with knowing the ground beneath you will hold you. That's the trust the universe, God, source energy, infinite intelligence desires you to feel as you move and flow through life. The human experience can get really interesting, but it's this deeper knowing that we are spiritual beings having this human experience, not human beings that possess and carry a spirit.
My sweet summer is gone. My sweet summer is gone. Yeah, she left in the morning, gone without warning. Fun while it lasted, lost in the moment. She played me real good, took me for a
Last
ride.
3
Now
breaths.
she's out fun and never playing back to real life. Yeah, she dipped out, smoked on my weed and she flipped out. Left in my my slumber, waited till I passed out. And on my dresser was a paper and her number. I filled it up with grass and I burned it
For
for
rolling
summer.
out. Thank you so much for rolling out your mat with me. This is a by donation class, so if you felt like you were enriched by this class, or if you'd like to keep the cycle of give and take going, I really, really would appreciate it. You each also have a card at the top of your mat, and this is actually different than what I typically give out. I usually give out tarot cards, but a very near dear friend of mine created this oracle deck, and she goes by, with her and her partner, Spirit Mamas. So she gifted me this deck, and I only felt like it would be beneficial to give it out. And each card has a different signification and meaning. So if you're interested in getting what the meaning of this card is for you, you can go ahead and snap a picture of the card and send it to me through Instagram. All my information on how to donate if you don't have cash, as well as my Instagram and email are on the back of the card. So feel free to contact me in whatever fashion you feel most comfortable. Thank you so, so much for again being with me. This happens every single Sunday at 11 a.m. and it is usually me. Next week we do have a sub because I'm finally gonna take my honeymoon with my husband because we had a COVID wedding. So I won't be here next week, but I will be here every other Sunday afterwards. So thank you again so, so much. Besos and blessings. Again, my name is Shelly. So grateful.